York Times. The motive is a mystery. That goes for other outlets as well for this being reported. Jason Matera, we're going to get to that with our next segment. Jason, thank you for more on that heartbreaking, tragic shooting in Minneapolis as a makeshift memorial continues to be produced there outside the church. We'll welcome in now retired FBI Special Agent Colin Schmidt. Good to see you. And retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Jack Jupin. Thank you both. Jack, so I'll start with you, if I can. So the shooter, you listened to the report by Jason, identified as Robin Westman, changed his name legally from Robert Westman years ago, back when he was 17 in 2019. His mom had to sign off on it. She did. But fast forward to when he was 23 and just yesterday posted online images showing off his weapons, showing off his magazines. They were riddled with messages like, "Where is your God?" Another message, "For the children." Another one, 6 million wasn't enough, in reference obviously to the Holocaust. Even used pictures of Jesus as target practice. At least that's what it looked like or indicated in the video. But the individual had clear hatred for Christians, right? For Jews. You can see from the messaging, it's not hard to put that together. Anti-Semitic messages, political-driven messages. "Kill Trump" was written there. Anti-Christian messages for the children, the targeting of children. He attended the church. His mom worked at that church at some time. He even had a sketch of the church. All confirmed. Those are facts by police. So, Jack, I'll hand it to you. What do you see? Why the slow walk on the motive?
I don't know. I don't think the FBI has any question what the motive is. This is an absolute hate crime. I know there's talk about the domestic terrorism end, and that has to meet certain elements for that crime. But this is a slam dunk hate crime. Unfortunately, everybody's trying to pivot a little bit, as you mentioned earlier, towards gun control. I can tell you, I worked violent crime in the late 90s, and the bad guys are getting the guns either way. And if you want to commit an act of terrorism and it's not using a gun, well, we've already seen vehicles used now. We've used, improvised explosive devices used. They're finding ways to do it. So if take the gun away, you still have an issue. You still have hate in this country, and you still have certain people, maybe some of them do have mental health issues. I know that's been brought up several times, but there's a lot of people with a lot of hatred right now.
Yeah. Absolutely, right? Smart, safe gun owners would never imagine doing something as horrific as this. That's responsibility that millions of Americans exercise every day, courtesy of the Second Amendment. This individual, though, as we've learned, was able to obtain guns legally, and he carried it out during a mass that was taking place, a Catholic worship service. The shooter outside the church, though, shooting through the windows. And so it does make you wonder, Colin, is this a reminder, unfortunately, of where we are in this world, that additional security should be needed at these places of worship?
Well, absolutely. There's a famous video of a gunman trying to take over or kill a bunch of people in a church. And there was parishioners there who were armed, and they took him out. And the only injury was the bad guy. So for the left to come out and immediately start doing the gun control trope over and over again, but without taking a step back and looking at the root cause of this, which is mental health crisis, number one. Number two, I did watch his video that he posted out. In this case, his manifesto was right there, and like what happened with the Nashville shooter. And it's very clear that the transgender, the mental health crisis, the issues, and his access to guns, these are all issues that law enforcement needs to look into and find out, how did he get these guns, and why wasn't there some sort of issue or some sort of effort to stop this from occurring?
Yeah. Yeah, all valid points. Just looking through all the social media aspects of this, we spoke with the police chief earlier. One of the things that stood out to, I think, both Emma and me, Jack, is the loss of manpower by the Minneapolis Police Department from 2020, he went from 900 to what he says 500. And then if you want to take it farther, the other statement on top of the loss of manpower in 5 years since 2020, the defund the police movement, which the chief attributes to the loss, no police in schools in 5 years. Now, this is a Catholic church. It runs outside the public school, but there is an opportunity there that was lost, and it has been lost for 5 years. Jack, if you could just comment on that.
Sure. I mean, listen, I think Colin will agree with me. Defunding law enforcement is not the answer. It's just not. And I did hear a retired county sheriff from Minnesota yesterday speaking of this and how the frustration he had about the defunding, and literally that the police department in Minneapolis has almost been cut in half. Now, will that have stopped this? I don't know. But if you have more cops in the street, there's more patrols, right? There's more of a presence. And the presence alone, again, will deter a lot of people. It really will. And you're not getting that. You're not, some communities are going to have to suffer. If you're going to defund the police and instead you want to have a social worker come in, well, good luck to you, because when something like this happens, the social worker's not going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot. But again, I think the mental health issue, because you have to be kind of deranged.
Yeah.
Think about it. To do this to any other human being is unconscionable.
Absolutely. Well said. But just the presence of law enforcement alone, I mean, if you're taking D.C. as sort of a blueprint here, it seems to really have worked in the right direction of reducing crime, at least in just these past 2 weeks that President Trump has implemented his plan. Gentlemen, we do have to leave it there. We'll hope to speak to you soon. Colin Schmidt and Jack Jupin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the Coast Guard conducting its largest ever drug seizure in history. This all happened down in Florida. Full report of what